directly recruit that much anymore, but I went and talked to all of the people that do recruit and said, you know, what is it that you're looking for in these candidates? And what it boils down to is communication, sincerity, and sense of team. The communication aspect is not only can you verbally communicate, can you interact, but it's also a written communication. The millennials these days are used to IMing and texting, that they're so used to this short language, this shorthand, that you sometimes see that on emails that they send you or resumes that they send out. So we're looking for clear sentences. It doesn't have to be a dissertation or anything like that, but we're looking for good written skills. But the verbal is very important as well. We're looking for professional interaction. How well do they interact with the people that they come into contact at the front desk? And then obviously with their recruiter and the manager of the department. And this seems very soft and very trivial, but you know, we're looking for, are they smiling when they come in? Are they presentable? Did it look like they just rolled out of bed, or did it look like they put forth some effort and put their best foot forward? Because usually an interview should be the point where they're putting their best foot forward. Now next, the sincerity. We want people to be at Altman who really want to work there. And you know, you'd think, well, why would they be there if, you know, they didn't want to be? But you'd be surprised at interviewees that come in and, you know, you can tell they're not really listening to the question. They really don't answer the question that you're asking them. So we're looking for sincerity, and we do behavioral-based interviewing at Altman. So we're able to drill down on some of their answers. So we're looking for honesty, and we're able to point out to candidates the ones that are embellishing their stories a little bit. So it's important to be sincere and to be honest. The sense of team, I think Tracy talked on that a little bit. That is very important to us. It's something that I know is important to millennials, but it's important for an organization to make sure that you get people that are willing to collaborate with not only their peers and their external customers, but internal customers as well. So what are we seeing, I think, is the second question. Well, surprisingly, maybe you're surprised or you're not surprised, but I've been pleasantly surprised. I've had the opportunity to interact with some up-and-coming graduates over the past couple of weeks, and I've been pleasantly surprised at the professionalism, the confidence that they have, the interest, the presentation they are put together. I commend the colleges and the schools for preparing those students. You know, I think I sat back and thought, oh my gosh, you know, I'm gonna get these candidates that come in and their bellies are gonna be showing and they're gonna have their flip-flops on, and trust me, we do get those candidates, but for the most part, what we've seen has been very, very positive. I do have to say that. The one thing that I will tell you that we've found by interviewing the different generations, and I'll start with the millennials, you know, they're very confident. They do have a little bit of an entitlement attitude, and so we want to make sure that they, you know, don't exude that too much, because everybody has to earn their opportunity, and so to come in with that air of entitlement may not get you that far. And the millennials are, they ask a lot of questions, which I think is great. Now what you see on the flip side is, you know, maybe with the boomers and even some of the Gen Xers, they come in very professional. The thing that they lack a little bit is the technical know-how and the techno-savviness, but in most cases that's something that can be taught. And then the baby boomers and the Gen Xers, they have a strong sense of team, and they have some real hardcore experience behind them, so they're able to give very good examples and have a proven work history. So they have put their best foot forward. What it boils down to is we get an awful lot of great candidates, and it's very difficult sometimes for us because you want to take all 6 people that interviewed for a particular position, but you have to find the one that's best suited for our organization, for that particular manager, and for that particular department. Doesn't mean that those candidates that didn't get the job weren't good candidates. It just means that they might have been better suited in another area. Now, real quickly, tell a war story, because Frank said, tell a war story if you can. So I'm sure many of you can relate to this. There's an interviewer and an interviewee. So they bring the interviewee in and they sit him down and they say, tell me, would you be interested in a security position? Oh, my driving record's terrible. How about valet or patient transport? That sounds boring. Okay, well, let's move past that. How about what shifts would you be willing to work? Well, I would really like afternoons because I like to sleep in. Okay, so let's get into the questions. Tell me about a time that you had to deal with conflict with a supervisor or a coworker. Oh my gosh, where do I begin? And I am not making this up, and it seems hard to believe, but. So then we ask, okay, on average, how many days would you say you've missed over the past few years? Well, it depends on my schedule. Again, I know it's hard to believe. Maybe it's not so hard to believe, and it's none of you in this room, but my impression of that was this person really didn't want to get a job at Altman Hospital. And, you know, did their parents put them up to it because they're being told they have to have a job, but they really didn't want one? But that's one of our war stories. And yes, that was a Gen Y-er or a millennial, but it doesn't mean we don't have those with the boomers and the Xers and the veterans as well. So what are we doing as an organization to attract and retain? This is the part I could probably go on for quite a long time with, but I will narrow it down to 5 areas. We strive to be a pro-employee employer, or a pro-employee organization. What does that mean? It basically means the basics. We believe in fair and equitable pay, and that sounds very simplistic, but to stay competitive, you constantly have to be benchmarking. You have to make sure you listen to your employees, because with different generations, what the boomers want and what the millennials want is totally different. So staying on top of that and finding the right mix is always a challenge. Some of the things that we've done is we've tried job sharing. We try to do flexible hours. It's a little bit more difficult because you have to have coverage every 12 hours and 24-hour business. But we have tried it. We do a lot of family-friendly events. That's important to many of our Gen Xers and our baby boomers who are very close to their families. We offer convenience programs. You know, people are so busy these days. You know, we have film drop-off, and we have an on-site employee pharmacy, things like that that pull you away and take up your personal time. So there's a lot of things from the benefits and the pay standpoint that we do. The second component of being a pro-employee organization is our communication. We think communication is extremely important, and every employee should feel like they have a voice. Now, how do we do that? We provide opportunities for employees to speak to our administrators. Our CEOs of both Altman and AltCare, they actually spoke to over 4,200 of our employees last year. And what they were doing was engaging them in the mission of Altman, explaining to them our past, our challenges in the past, our successes in the past, and our opportunities for the future. So it's an opportunity to engage people because millennials really want that. They want to be part of making a difference. AltCare does a 6-minute scoop once a week where they will bring all their employees together and they'll share information with their employees. And again, you can see it's part of keeping the employees engaged at all levels. We do semi-annual reviews where the AltCare CEO will do a State of the Union address to all the employees. So communication is extremely important, not to mention the one-on-one communication that is done every day between employees and their bosses. Number 3 is we provide a safe working environment. That's very important to our organization. We want people to feel comfortable coming to work every day. It's important for us to not only make our patients feel safe, but also to make sure that our employees feel safe as well. The 4th thing, career growth and development. This is important for every level, every generation in the organization, and we do many things to support this initiative. We have an Exploring Leaders program. We have a management development program.